Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. And I'm so excited. Again, my just most repeated guest, I think. She is amazing. Lisa Marree. We have her back every month. She's amazing. You've got to let people know. Share this out. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special shout out to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Professional Security Alarm and JD Peak, Independent Merchant Brokers, and Fitzpatrick Painting and Construction. For more information on Professional Security Alarm and Mr. JD Peak, go to prosecurityalarm.com and get all their information how to secure your business. For more information on Independent Merchant Brokers and their merchant services, go to independentmerchantbrokers.com. And finally, for more information on Fitzpatrick Painting and Construction and their amazing painting and construction services in Albany, Oregon, go to fitzpatrickpainting.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. So glad that you're with us today. Man, I tell you, I am just blessed with such amazing people. And one of my favorites, who is a regular on Marketing with Russ, is Lisa Marree. She's going to be with us today. She is got so much valuable information for you. She is way beyond ordinary. So you're definitely going to want to listen to all that she has to say today. And so are your friends going to want to listen to all she has to say today. So right now, as we get started, share this out. Tell your friends, hey, guess what? Marketing with Russ is coming on. And so is Lisa Marree. You do not want to miss it. Tag your friends. Just tell them, hey, here we go. And you know what? We are over 500 episodes now. And I tell you, we're pushing for the second 500, and they get better and better all of the time. So I just appreciate you doing that, sharing it with your friends and tagging them. And you know what? Today is an awesome day. You know, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's right. We go live at 8 a.m., but then it becomes a video podcast, and it sits on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, the social media that we broadcast on forever. Well, actually, Facebook now is going a little bit shorter. I have to correct that now. They're not doing it forever, but YouTube and LinkedIn forever. So you can go back and watch those. Also, we convert this to audio podcast after that. So guess what? If you can't watch, you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite platform is. We are there for you. And so I just want to remind you today that even if you miss the live, you can still catch it on video or on audio. So please do that. And please share it with your friends, because a lot of times there's great valuable information that might trigger in your mind. What Lisa Marree said, my friend so-and-so could use. share it with them and they can watch it after the fact. So thanks so much. We are so blessed with such a great, great community here on Marketing with Russ. And I am just so thankful for all of you being here today. We are all about how amazing people connect. That's right. So connection and community building, I think, is the foundation. I truly believe it is the foundation of any good marketing plan, any good business. And when you connect and build community, good things happen, right? It's a good thing for your entire life. So I just want to encourage that today. And of course, I love to connect. Go to russhedge.com today and you can connect with me any way you like. Social media, my email, my phone number. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. I'd love if you do that. If we haven't already connected, it'd be so great. So an amazing resource, YouTube, right? It's like a library of everything all right together in one spot. The easiest way to find past episodes, just go to marketingwithruss.live today, marketingwithruss.live, and you can subscribe, and then you'll have access to all of that amazing content. And I tell you, it is so great. Whether you watch live on YouTube, because you can watch it live there, or you go back later, all of those episodes and the one today, all that information will help you link to the person that is the guest for the day or people in the comments. There's so many people you can connect with that are just watching the show today. Watch those comments, engage, be active, right? Take part in what's going on. Don't just sit back and listen and watch. Actually engage. And I tell you, it will bless you. It will definitely bless you. So thankful for that. Just a reminder again to share and to tag your friends today, because I'm telling you, we all get busy and you don't want them to miss what's going on. So, okay. And so next, I want to remind you that, hang on just a sec here. I was going to remind you, but yeah. So I just want to tell you that we always do marketing tip of the day. But before that, what I was going to say was, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. You see it there behind me. My first book and my 4 collaborative books are all available. Yep, you guessed it, at russhedge.com. Or even better, you can go to Amazon or any online bookseller and you can pick it up there as well. So would appreciate you doing that. It'll bless you. My latest book is coming out later this fall. I'm really going to do it this year. I'm right in the middle of really, really hammering down and getting it finished up. So excited for that. And so that'll be coming up. So the marketing tip of the day. These are just little tidbits that we do every Monday and Thursday to help you with life, with your business. And I think that there's so much that we look over, so many things. And Lisa and I talk about this a lot. So many little tidbits in life that we think, oh, that's really not that important. I really need to get down to the nuts and bolts of what do I do in marketing? I need a complex marketing plan. And I'm telling you, that sometimes is your biggest challenge because you overcomplicate things and you do not want to do that. So we're going to talk about that today. So are you ready? Okay, here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Don't overcomplicate. There you go. Don't overcomplicate your business, your life, all that you got going on. I've talked about keeping it simple before, but I really want to focus in on what you are doing for your business. A lot of times we are making things way too complicated for what we need to accomplish. And what it does is this is how people suffer burnout and so many things. They overcomplicate their life. They overcomplicate their business. They lay way more on themselves than they really should. And so instead of that, why not keep it simple, which we've talked about before? Why not take one step at a time? Why not do the little things that make the difference, like connection and community building? Why not connect with people? Because, as Zig Ziglar says, you build the people and then the people build your business, right? Why not get around good people? Just like Jim Rohn says, you are the average of the 5 people closest to you that you spend the most time with. Why not up your game in those areas? Why not do simple things that really elevate you? You can elevate each other. Remember, a rising tide lifts all ships. Collaborate with others and make a difference. So today, don't overcomplicate. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. So we got our marketing tip of the day down. I'm sure Lisa took notes on that. She always does. Let's get her in the room. Here we go.
I certainly did. Oh, you're so cute.
Wonderful to have you back. It is. We have such great conversations, and I think we think a lot alike. And I want to talk a little bit more about this whole idea of how people make life so much harder on themselves than they have to. And
Yes.
a lot of times that causes a lot of problems that are unnecessary. But first, for the one or two people that doesn't know who you are, who is Lisa Marree? What are you up to?
Oh gosh, I'm complex, but like to keep things simple these days. I've grown much wiser. Um, I have a medical science, holistic nutrition and fitness background, a leadership development background. So I've run my own business. I've done many things, but what I'm truly passionate about is helping people become limitless. And I'm working with the women in my chapter of life. This is through that menopause and postmenopause transition to really help them make a massive power pivot to not think that this is the decline in life, but truly a new chapter of wisdom and grace, and to be strong and lean and healthy and happy, because you can have, yeah, I've got some guns. Not too bad for a mid 50 something.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were 30. Come on.
Oh, bless you. My metabolic age is, and that's what we want. Truly, see, it's not about if we make the shift from healthy aging, because aging has a bit of a decline, a meaning around it. But if we think about longevity, that is a real power word. With longevity, you want to be healthy, happy, not relying on medication to keep you functioning, to be mobile, to just have a beautiful golden year sort of experience, because we can have that. But whether you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you can start right now. And today's topic of keeping things simple is a really great place to actually talk about that. Richard Branson's famous quote is, "A genius keeps things simple," which is why he's got 300 and something companies and has an absolute hoot in life. Yeah. Doesn't make everything successful. He's failed many times over, but hey, there's a magic recipe in there, and that's definitely keeping these things simple. And you know what, Russ? You hit me to the punchline. I actually bought my beautiful Treasury of Quotes book today.
Ah, look at that. Oh, yes.
Yes. The master himself,
he's
Mr.
full of them.
Yeah. Yes. And because I was going to talk about goals and not the smart, all that corporate framey stuff. But I think we're going to have a red hot topic today, my friend.
Well, I want to talk about, we could talk about both today. I just really, what I love is the way you approach things and the way that you're looking at everything. It's interesting because you inspired another friend of mine. I was just on my good friend, Jeff Tyson's, conversations with Jeff. I was on for like the third time. I'm getting to be one of his repeat guests, and he's a great friend. He actually was going through New York with his wife when I was in New York speaking at Perspectives on Cancer last fall, and we got to hang out for a while together. It was a lot of fun. Jeff's a great friend. And so he was talking about having you on his show and, what great value that was. But so let's, goals and stuff is great. Let's talk about that. Let me just first finish up this whole thing, because I think that this will take us right into goals and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, that is
what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that overcomplicating things and putting too many things down and overloading yourself with too much goals or whatever that might be good things, but there's such a thing as too much of a good thing. My mama used to always say that, and it is so true. There is too much of a good thing because it kind of dilutes itself, and you kind of loses its effect when you overdo it and you overcomplicate it. And so I think by going into things and taking it one step at a time, we can then set our goals and we can then accomplish things better than being overwhelmed and shutting down, right?
Hmm. Yes, 1,000% yes. And I I think you have made the perfect demonstration here of milestone achievements. Of first of all, congratulations on your 500th episode, your 200th episode, all of these beautiful cluster of milestones that are happening together, and so well deserved. But you did one episode at a time, one step at a time to reach that wonderful milestone. And while I'm on the topic, even though I didn't come on live, obviously in Australia, we have a slight time zone difference. I couldn't
Just a
make 1
little.
a.m. But the avalanche of love and respect pouring out to you just made my heart sing, because you are a master connector. You give so much, Russ. You bring people into your world, so their gift that may not be heard by people can actually shine out there in the cosmos. And with that beautiful, you are the conduit for that. And so you absolutely deserved all the amazing things that was showered on you. And I love and respect you so much. And yes, here's to another 500 episodes, because God ain't done with you yet, my friend.
Well, and you started I had you right up at the front end of the show. You're recording with a couple others. It was so great because you gave me such a great intro with your party hat and all the stuff, excitement
My little
going on, and
papa.
it was a lot of fun. Your popper, yes, and so it was a ton of fun. And yes, I am blessed to have awesome people, and that's what really makes it easy. I love to connect with amazing people, and you know, as I've worked with those people. Like, look, first of all, let me go back and just say, if I had gone into it and Lisa, you said, okay, Russ, you're going to start your live stream and you need to do 500 episodes, I would have gone, whoa, 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 hang on here. I'm not doing 500 episodes. I mean, that's just a little too much, right? I thought I might be lucky to get a year or two in and maybe 30 or 40 episodes, and so, yeah, I mean, it was just an amazing, all of a sudden, whammo. In fact, March, I don't know if you heard it on the show, we had 2 years of the experience live with Russ and Scott, 500 on marketing with Russ,
Yes.
1 year on our new show, which is the experience local, 3 years on our other show, Russ Reels Live, and then what is it? Oh, and 3 years on the experience backstage. I mean, it was like every show was having milestones. It was great.
Yes.
So, but so, but when we start taking simple steps and we look at what we really want to accomplish, there's a good book called The One Thing by
Yes. It's a great book.
right. And Gary Keller is the founder of Keller Williams that wrote that book, and it's amazing because people think I can't boil everything down to one thing. Oh yeah, you can when you really go at it. So let's talk about that and what you wanted to bring up that Jim says about goals and how taking things at the right pace will help you accomplish so much more.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because it all starts with a vision. Unfortunately, in our fast-paced world where we're literally having brain fry, digital burnout, we keep looking at so many things, and we've forgotten how to actually be laser beam focused, but also have a dream, because there's so much fakeness out there of one end of the pole to the other, and this overnight success. And trust me, overnight success has probably had 10-15 years of groundwork behind that, but they don't show you that.
Right.
I know that. I've been in business for 20 years, and it really took about between that 8 and 10 year mark for us to have what you really think about the compounding effect. And so when you, as a kid, we all dream, but we seem to have so many dream stealers around us now through distraction that we don't hang on to something long enough that's burning deep within inside of us because of whatever. And so we don't follow through. And there's two beautiful quotes about goals that I want to read from Jim. So goals, there's no telling what you can do when you get inspired by them. That's the first thing. You get inspired, and inspired generally leads to some kind of action taking if you're a motivated person. There's no telling what you can do when you believe in them, and there's no telling what will happen when you act upon them. And all it takes is one episode after the other, right? And the beautiful thing is, the major reason for setting a goal is for what it makes of you in accomplishing it. What it makes of you will always be far greater than the value you get.
Oh my goodness, that is so good. Yeah,
You have to grow.
Yes, and I think that's the thing is you're as you're going through the process, you're growing, and I think you did earlier about we don't are not successful with every one of our goals and the things we're doing, but the great quote by Michael Jordan talks about the number of times that he failed, and that's what made him so successful.
Yeah.
Because you're willing to get out there and put it all on the line. And more often than not, you're going to do good things. You're going to succeed and do amazing, or at least you're going to learn and grow through the process, right?
Yes.
That's going to make you better.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is, as you're learning and growing, you might find that the thing that you thought that you wanted, there's a saying also, the things I once loved, I now hate. And the things that I once hated, I now love. And so allow that flexibility of yourself. Don't just sort of like drop your basket and have a little tanty if things don't work out. Really reflect, assess on that, because sometimes we're on a pathway and we do get to the point, and I've done this a few times in life, where we think, even though I've put so much time and effort into this, it's really not what I want deep inside my heart and my belly. I'm logically thinking I need to follow through and complete this. But with all the skills that I've just learned and everything that I've been through, that is actually an incredible asset that I can take in when I'm really on the path of my purpose, of what is calling me, is what is pulling me forward. When you got to drag all this stuff with you, you are not, you're going to be falling in quicksand. I've been there too.
Well, I was thinking about that. It reminds me of my college years, because I really kind of started kind of off track. But when the culmination of all that I learned through that process really helped me when I zeroed in on what I wanted to do. And I think that's a great point. When you really get with your passion, then you can take what you learned, and really nothing's a waste, because our life is the best teacher, right? We're lifelong learners. And if we continue to learn and grow and be thoughtful about what we're going through and where we want to go, things are going to always go better, because we're going to learn from where we came from, and it's going to help focus us on where we want to go, right?
Yes, exactly. Because I look at all the things that I've done, even since I was a teenager. Well, even before the age of 10, I was an athlete, a swimmer. And then I was exposed to martial arts and metaphysics. So that was such a different world for a teenager to get exposed to, the ancient way. And then in my 20s, I was a medical scientist. And then in my 30s, I was holistic health, nutrition, fitness, which carried through to my 40s. And in my 50s, like, I had this light bulb moment, more like a smack on the back of the head. When the world shut down, because we all had to stop, even though I was still, trying to run my business. It was a brick and mortar business. And when there's no humans, it makes it a little bit challenging. I had to do some major reassessing. And so because there's a lot of neuroscience and leadership development that I've learned along that, with being so blessed to have Jim Rohn as a mentor. My goodness, this man truly changed my life. I'm getting emotional, because he allowed me to see what's possible within me. And so I've got all of these things that I've learnt for the last 40 plus years, 50 years, that I've now put together in a beautiful package that is so much more powerful than all the individual skills that I was doing one at a time. But I'm keeping it so simple.
Yeah. Well, and that is, I think you learn, and those lessons help you to realize the benefits of simplicity and not overcomplicating things. I think when I first got into business out of college, you kind of want to prove yourself, right? So you're running around doing everything like a crazy person, and
Bring yourself back onto the screen. Come on over.
Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm so focused in on what I'm saying. Here I am. I was so focused in on trying to prove myself that I really felt like if they saw me running around, they thought I was doing my job and keeping busy, right? And that's not really what I needed to do. It's not that they didn't think they thought I was doing my job, because I was, but I was overdoing it because I was so working so hard to make myself look busy and taking on way too much stuff, trying to prove myself. And then I learned a secret: collaboration and working with other people, because we are better together. And I learned this really young. And how I learned that was I had people come in, so service companies that I worked with. So I was an office manager at first for this big corporation, kind of fell into this job. And these people came into me and said, "Hey, Russ, don't worry about it. Let me handle this part for you. You don't have to worry about it. And you just tell me what you want the levels at, where you want to set the parameters, and I will set them. And then I'll just take care of it for you as part of what we do for you." And I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. If I let them do it, I don't have to worry about it. And everybody thinks I've got it all covered. And so that's great. So I learned from several people, and I started delegating and started just giving, some space for them to do their job. Man, people thought I just was amazing, that I did all this stuff, that I knew everything, literally. And I thought, if they only really knew that I would just learn to be smart, right? And I think that that's where it comes to learning those lessons, keeping it more simple, not overcomplicating things. And that makes your life so much easier. And part of that is, and we talked about holistic health. Part of that is not running yourself into the ground, taking care of yourself, and making sure that you're here for tomorrow to do things right, by not overdoing and overcomplicating things today.
Yeah. Just before you said that, the first thing that was coming into my mind is that you're conserving your energy because of that delegation, because we only have so many energy bubbles in our day. You know that for sure, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So it's one of those things. If we're trying to be everyone for everything, and that's a common phrase, you are just on the fast track to burnout. And then because there's nothing left for you, and it's Groundhog Day. You wake up, you just hit the ground running, you go to bed exhausted, you don't sleep that well because you haven't eaten well, you're overstressed, you're so wired and tired, and so the cycle goes on until you do crash. Like there's a health crisis of whatever shape or form.
You totally crash, and one day you dropped out of a heart attack or something happens, all the things. It's kind of like years ago, the whole mentality was work hard, work hard, just work work, work, work. I mean, we're talking 12, 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day, work, work, work. And then you get to retire and get to relax. And you know how many stories I've heard about so many people that never made it to retirement.
Yeah, yeah. Or when they get there, they're so unwell that they can't do all the beautiful things that they had planned when I retire. And
Right.
they're heavily medicated, they're an invalid basically. And
Yeah.
also, because their whole life was purpose driven on that job until I can retire, they've now got no plan. So they go
Right.
from all to nothing. And that quite often people have passed literally within the first 12 months of retirement.
Yeah. No, completely. Yeah. Well, you know what? So much good information, so many gold nuggets and mic drops, but I already have to cut it off because the show's already over. So
I know.
it is like we just keep rolling. So listen, Lisa, what is your gold nugget of today? So we'll have another one of these next month, but what's your gold nugget of today and how do people get in touch with you?
The gold nugget is find a quiet space, take a few big deep breaths, turn off all distractions, maybe even be in nature when you do this, and just ask yourself the deep, deep, deep question, what do I really want? And you may not have an answer straight away, but just keep asking it, what do I really want? And then when you have that that answer, the next question is, why do I really want it? It's sort of 7 levels deep. And you know, take a pen and paper, and you'll actually come to a point where you've had all this surface stuff distracting you of what you think you want, but there's a very, very deep meaning inside that will change your life. And hopefully you take action on that. And where you can find me is lisamarree.com. I'm a simple being like Russ. So LisaMarree.com. And I'm on LinkedIn too, same name.
Yes. And by the way, all of that information is in the comments. It's in the show notes. It's clickable and it's been ticking along the bottom, the LinkedIn part, at least the whole show. So listen, connect with Lisa Marree today. And if you miss her, go watch it on YouTube and subscribe. And if you miss that, come back for the next show that she's on, which will be next month. So there you go. All right. Listen, Lisa, thanks so much. I'm going to let you go. Hang tight here in the green room as I wrap it up, and I'll see you in a second.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Another good one. I'm telling you, her information ticking along the bottom. Don't forget, look in the comments, look in the show notes. All of that is there for you. And I tell you, she's full of so much wisdom. Hanging out with Jim Rohn is a big reason why. He was an amazing man and she was mentored by him. And that makes such a difference in her outlook. And she and I have a very similar outlook. And that is, you can do more than you think you can, but don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it so difficult that you burn yourself out before you're able to take that next step. Just take one step at a time, take one goal at a time, and you'll be surprised how much you can really, really accomplish. Because you know, multitasking is a myth. There's no such thing as multitasking. You can only focus on one thing at a time. So just do that. Focus on one thing at a time. And with that, I want to thank you all for being here today. We are here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. I want to thank all of our sponsors again, Professional Security Alarm, Independent Merchant Brokers, and Fitzpatrick Painting and Construction. Great sponsors. If you want to learn how to become a sponsor, connect with me, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Also, we are listener supported. So if you're interested in supporting this, I call it a ministry, the great value of getting people like Lisa Marree out to you. Click on the QR code or look for the link in the comments, and we would love for you to be part of making these wonderful next 500 episodes happen. So with that, have an amazing, amazing rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.